Boys, we're going to be boots on the ground in Iran. Oh, yes. I can't wait. Pickle Rick on my helmet. A picture of my darling in my hat, in my helmet, as well. And some bullets in my gun, brother. You know what I'm saying?
And the picture in your helmet is just BB.
Oh, Big Net, as I call him. Yeah, me and him go way back, brother. He fed me my first. He fed me my first child.
For Israel.
Yeah, he's wearing a flannel. Welcome to the Basement Leftist Podcast. Today we have a lot to discuss, so let's get right into it. So Iran, what do you guys think? Iran. Sorry, okay, fine. What do you guys think about Iran? What's going on?
I think it's actually really cool and woke of Israel and the U.S. to bomb a girls' school. I think that really shows the Western values and the superiority that they have to places in the Middle East.
Something we haven't talked about is because, okay, obviously Jews are a oppressed minority in many cases. And one thing we haven't talked about is how the U.S. is helping them by fighting Iran. Like, this is just helping a minority. They are woke. Like, we're helping Israel fight Iran.
This was the true dark woke.
All Israelis are Jewish, and all Jewish people back Israel. So yeah, you're right.
Because I don't know, I could talk about so many things. I could talk about that school bombing where Hegseth, in his response, he was like, "Oh yeah, we don't bomb schools. You know, we don't target civilian targets. We're investigating that."
True.
And then just cut to the clip of him standing next to Trump's desk, reading off his ChatGPT generated ass speech, where he's just like, "This is a war that won't be fought wokely. It won't be not a politically correct war. There'll be no rules of engagement." It's like, yeah, if there's no rules of engagement, what do you mean you don't bomb schools? Of course you bomb schools. And of course they bomb schools. Because Israel literally has the military doctrine that they have said they are now adopting, which is the "we bomb all your schools" doctrine.
Okay, but have you ever heard of a man's honor?
Are they just adopting that? Is that the first? Just now they're going to start bombing schools?
Fair enough. That was probably always their plan. That is also the discussion that everyone is talking about, is how much Trump's dumb geriatric ass actually knew when Bibi convinced him to do more war crimes with him.
Barack, the hospital bomber.
He might have been given the impression that, hey, well, quick in and out, quick 15-minute war crime, quick adventure, decapitation strike, it'll be just like Venezuela. And that didn't happen. And now he's like flailing around, and that's why we've been given like 5 different stated goals for what the purpose of this war is. That's why the Republicans can't seem to agree if it's a war or not.
I think what you need to know, though, like, if you're an American citizen, you need to know that this war or not war, we haven't decided, will benefit you. It will materially benefit you. You will get the things you want. Maybe healthcare, maybe better wages, like maybe something like that. I think we'll probably, American prosperity. That's what's gonna happen. Like, don't really worry about it. It will benefit you. You won't just like not get social programs, and then maybe your son will die or something like that.
Just like from like coughing. Or your insulin's too high. And, oh no, type 1.
Or boots on the ground. You know,
or boots on the ground. Drafted. For fighting
will the healthcare system kill him?
For people who like would literally piss on your grave. They'd probably fuck your dead body. Like, am I going that far? No, I'm being real. Have you seen what they've done in the Epstein files?
Yeah.
That's what I like. It's not even. I was talking about this with my coworker. It's like, I'm trying to, like, you can't even write this. Like, it's so evil. Like, I can say that, and it's happened. It's true. Like, there are people in power who have done, like, the most heinous shit. And then there are still people who are willing to be like, and I will fight for my country. What country? This is a haven for pedophiles.
The Epstein regime.
Like, literally a haven for the most depraved people. You're fighting for nothing, and you're just getting them richer and pushing their agenda. And, you know, you go to war, people forget about your fucking pedophilia, and then you just keep it going.
Yeah, I don't understand either. Like, I think, like, if there was conscription, there'd be a lot more people, like, fighting in the streets, like, rioting, being like, fuck this. right? Like you saw that in Vietnam. But like, I don't know, like I've seen the memes going around being like, so is Barron going to war? I'm pretty sure Hexeth has kids that are like in their 20s, and so does Rubio.
Barron has to play Minecraft.
He's too tall. I'm pretty sure that was an official statement from the White House.
Yeah, he'd be a target.
They're not even trying. And that's another thing that's really telling about this, is they're not even trying to convince the American people that they're under any serious threat. Like the way they did with Iraq, the way they even kind of did. Like you could maybe consider the way Trump always droned on and on about narco-terrorism in Venezuela. There's nothing. It would like Mark. Well, we will watch a clip in a moment here. Marco Rubio is literally just like, yeah, it was for Israel. Yeah, Israel wanted us to do it, so we had to, obviously, because this is the United States of Israel. Bibi's the president. We have to do what he says. He's commander-in-chief.
Yeah, no, it's true, and I had something to say, but I forgot. So we're on a roll today. We love United States intervention.
It's always worked. Also, I think we should talk about that regime change and American intervention through bombing the shit out of people indiscriminately has always led nations to prosper.
Yeah, like we're even hearing now about how they're gonna try arming the Kurds again, and it's just like, first of all, I guess it's not a secret at all. The CIA just operates in the open.
No, that's what I was gonna say.
Secret or clandestine, like
it would
the Iranian government.
It would be. Sorry, dude. Just continue with your thought.
The Iranian government can just watch CBC headlines to get updates on what the government's doing. And it's like, this has never gone wrong, arming groups in the local area to fight wars for us.
The brave Mujahideen warriors. It would also be really funny if Draft Dodger Donnie is the one that like starts the conscription, like the ultimate person who's been flamed besides like Muhammad Ali for dodging the draft, and you're gonna... I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think anyone's gonna conscript. I think... Or like, I can't see that going well. Like, Americans love their treats, and you know what? You know what's at war? No treats, bro. And, no, I think people hate being forced to do things against their will. This isn't the 40s anymore. I think that'd go over really poorly. But but people are also aware of the fact that like we are fighting this on Israel's behalf. I think like people are kind of waking up to that. A lot of, I'm not saying everybody, because clearly like especially people in power are obviously warmongers. They love it. They profit off of it. So it makes sense that you also haven't really seen much liberal pushback or democratic pushback on what's happening. Which, I mean, we haven't been seeing democratic pushback on like anything that's happening because they're a bunch of fucking cowards. Literally no spine.
Democrats will vote to fund it. They'll vote to fund everything. They'll vote for another $1 trillion for Israel.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're gonna just they have to, you know, condemn Hamas before they fucking say anything. They have to be like, and the regime was horrible, and like, you know, like the Ayatollah deserved to die, but I don't fully back this. I only 70% back this. But you have to put that initial statement of recognizing how horrible that regime is. Because, like, otherwise, like, I don't know, like, you just get you get kicked out of the Democratic Party.
It's just a sad state of affairs, because it's like, okay, so no one has our back, and that's always been the case, but it just feels very blatant. It's
glaringly obvious more and more, and I don't know if that's because we're getting older and we're waking up to this, but, like, it really does feel like there are, like, two people that represent my political view that are, like, in a part of the Democratic Party.
Yeah,
have any sort of power.
Yeah. And
they're constantly fighting everything. Always.
And other leftists. Thank God. They love infighting. Sometimes it's valid, but sometimes, you know, shut the fuck up. What's the first clip that we want to watch? Was it this guy?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
It was abundantly clear that if Iran came under attack by anyone, the United States or Israel or anyone, they were going to respond against the United States. If we stood and waited for that attack to come first before we hit them, we would suffer much higher casualties.
Mind tactics.
Well, also,
we had our Lisan al-Gaib predict their missiles where they would hit and at what time.
they didn't weaken them, like, their attacks by attacking first. Like, I feel like that's what they're trying to pretend, is that, like, they weren't able to retaliate as strongly because we hit them first. That is definitely not the case. And they're just spouting that and be like, they were thinking about punching us, and we thought that they were thinking about punching us, so we went ahead and punched them first so that they would punch us.
Right. And it's like, does this logic work on anybody? Like, what did the comments say? Like, legitimately.
Is he for real? Is a Monty Python?
Literally what you just said. They're panicking already.
Oh yeah, literally what I said.
Israel's going to bomb. Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, a bunch of liberals in the comment section.
Control the plot.
Yeah,
they are losing control, and I think what's worth noticing is they're just fully embracing the Israeli doctrine of media narratives, where it's a defensive strike.
Yeah,
Israel, the United States has a right to defend itself. It reminds me of that image. We don't need to bring it up. I'm sure most people have seen it, where it's like, what is Iran thinking? They put their country next to all our U.S. military bases.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's not even like, it's just funny because people are acting like this shit's new, because even those jokes aren't new. Like,
well, that image is ancient.
Yeah, it's interesting that people are like, the U.S. now, what's going on? It's like, this has always been happening. They just were able to hide it better because at least they didn't hire like the fucking dumbest people to lead shit and just like expose everything. Are we gonna continue this clip?
Yeah, I think we can finish it because I want to. Okay.
And so the president made the very wise decision. We knew that there was going to be an Israeli action. We knew that that would precipitate an attack against American forces. And we knew that if we didn't preemptively go after them before they launched those attacks, we would suffer higher casualties and perhaps even higher those killed. And then we would all be here answering questions about why
there it is. There's the admission. There's the explicit admission by Marco Rubio that they attacked because Israel was going to. And like, I love just the assumption that there's no universe. It would be unthinkable for the United States to tell Israel no. It's just unthinkable. It's just unthinkable because we belong to them. It's the United States of Israel. Bibi's the commander-in-chief. It's just utterly unthinkable. It's framed as impossible that they had to. Again, that it was a defensive preemptive action because Israel is a force of nature, uncontrollable by us. Naturally, even though their entire existence is funded by American taxpayers. Every aspect of their existence is entirely subsidized by the American taxpayer. There's nothing we could do to stop them.
Right, and like you said, like, pay attention to the language, right? Like, it's...
They love to...
Well, go ahead.
They love to pretend Israel is their lapdog, and that, like, it does their bidding. It's, it's the... like, American state in the Middle East, and like we would, like, what's the Joe Biden quote of like, if Israel didn't exist, we'd have to create one.
Yeah.
And act like Israel's completely under their control, which, like, in some ways it is, because like you said, the American taxpayers are subsidizing their everything. They are funding it so much. Israel would not be where it is without American support. And then they act like, there's nothing they can do to control them. There's no way that they could have, reasoned with Netanyahu or like just did an ultimatum or did anything. They were just like, no, Israel said we have to attack them, so actually we have to fight Israel's war for them. We have to kill American citizens for Israel.
Okay, what if Netanyahu actually is Satan, though? And, like, they actually can't stop him.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty familiar with the Bible, and I think it was actually based on Bibi, like the original author.
Oh, right.
Based on, the author met him, that Jesus guy.
He tapped his out. I'm gonna have to fight you, bro. And then he died.
So the implication that Jesus wrote the Bible.
Dude. Motherfucker was spitting.
Okay, can we watch Netanyahu's response to it? So basically, Rubio and some other, like, state officials have been, like, being like, we had to do it, like, Israel was gonna attack, so we had to get the first punch in because, it was a defensive-offensive mission once again. And basically, Netanyahu went on, was it Fox?
It was the NNN, Netanyahu News Network.
But basically, they brought him on to like be like, you didn't make Trump do this, right? Because Trump got upset. He was like, no, I made Netanyahu do this. I forced his hand, even though it just benefits Israel and not America at all, to be at war. And then this is Netanyahu responding to this.
There are people that say, well, the prime minister of Israel dragged Donald Trump into it. And as somebody that's been friends with him over 30 years, nobody drags Donald Trump into anything, number one. But I want to get your reaction to that.
Jesus Christ.
Oh my God!
The most evil man to ever think. I swear to fucking God. He is the worst. Like, that clip, like, is just so horrifying. It just, like, sends chills through my bones.
It's a literal Emperor Palpatine laugh.
It's both, like, so awful that he's just, like, laughing at it. Like, it just feels so awful, and like knowing that this man is like the result of so many people, like the death of so many people. But you can both, like, he's laughing, and this plays to people who are like Israeli supremacists, who see that and go like, oh, like, he's laughing because he's like, yeah, I've made a fool out of the American president. And there's people that watch it and go like, oh yes, it's so laughable to think that Trump would ever be manipulated. So like, he's playing to both sides by doing that, but it's so chilling to watch.
Yeah, I mean, and to me, it is as much reads that he just like doesn't have to care, and he knows he doesn't have to care.
Well, who's gonna stop him if we're not? Like, I mean, I don't know. I guess Iran's gonna try, right?
Without nukes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the nuke doctrine, really. I believe it's Hassan's doctrine of sovereignty is get nukes.
Get nukes, yep.
If you don't have them, you're not a sovereign country.
Well, yeah, because this wouldn't be happening if they had nukes.
No, hell no.
I'm talking to you, Mark Darney. Start learning French. Wait, he already knows French. He has to.
What? Yeah, the Canadian Prime Minister. Start learning French.
Je m'appelle Penis. Je suis Penis.
Okay, should we transition to this interview that I'm so excited for? This like lit a fire under me.
You can't get that excited because you know if it's mid, we will like.
Yeah, you will tear me to pieces. I don't know. I don't think you will. There's no way you aren't gonna like this guy.
Could you explain to me, how do you think the Iranian military strategy is now playing out?
It's working quite well. Iran is hammering the Israeli regime in retaliation for its atrocities and its unprovoked war. And it's hammering U.S. positions across the Persian Gulf region for its atrocities and the unprovoked war. And there's been no let-up in Iranian responses. And that is because Iranian missile and drone bases are all deep underground and inaccessible to the United States and the Israeli regime. And that's why they take revenge on ordinary Iranians. They've been bombing Tehran and other cities, destroying homes, destroying hospitals, destroying schools, slaughtering children. In one instance, they murdered 165 young girls at an elementary school who they've been buried today. So since they cannot defeat the Iranian military, they take their revenge on ordinary Iranians.
It's clearly causing chaos in the Gulf.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's not a new statement, like the U.S. or the bad guys, right? Like, we're the terrorists. Yeah. The amount of terror that the U.S. has caused does not equate to, like, amount of, or a pain that anyone else really has. It's like a resounding violence.
Yeah.
At all times. It's insane.
And it's one of those things too, where it's like we won't go into the full history of the like how the Iranian regime got to where it is, but like it is the U.S.'s fault. Like they had a democratic leader in charge, and the U.S. like had a coup and put in charge somebody else that led, like a couple decades later, to a huge revolution in which this current system that they have took hold as a response to like anti-Western intervention in the region. So it's like, this is literally, it's like why Hamas exists too. It's like, yeah, Hamas isn't like a good thing, but when you back people into a corner, that's what happens. Like, I'm not about to defend the regime, but like, it's the U.S.'s fault.
But, you know.
Yeah, the U.S. is sowing the seeds of the next 9/11 right now with every school they bomb.
I was going to say,
people
like,
behind who will now have nothing to live for, but in their minds, the destruction of the West.
The U.S. also put crack in black neighborhoods. Like, they don't give a fuck. They'll create the villain always. They're so down to create the villain for their mode. They don't give a shit. Yeah. No, I mean, again, there's like, you can. I can't read any of this stuff as like, and I don't think many people can as like good for America or like a positive for America, right? Like I don't. It's like, how can you even spin it that way? I guess because we're killing Muslim people. I don't understand.
They're not even all Muslim.
I guess you examine like the Asmongold audience and like what they get out of it. Which
Well, they
is
like
that,
the death of brown people.
feeling of superiority. Yeah, they just love killing brown people. They have this like it's such an insidious thing on the internet where people talk about the U.S. military action. They always they throw the word "we" around, and I'm just like Breaking Bad. We? Who's we?
Who's we?
There is no we. Like, the U.S. military is not your friend. They're not your homies. They're not doing stuff that benefits you. But there's something that just makes people think, this is me. I'm doing this.
Yeah, I know. And, well, that's because they're, like, there's, like, this weird nationalistic, patriotic sense that they're, like, that's our guy. This is our thing. It's like, no, dude. You'd be put in the ground just as quickly as anybody else, dude. If you were, if you were in the way or like any kind of obstacle, like you have no stock in this country and they don't give a fuck about you either. Like, why are you? Yeah, B-12 Nighthawk bomber based.
Yeah, it's fight is right. It's like it makes America look awesome because they're so powerful. They can just do whatever the fuck they want, like commit war crimes. It's that mentality, and then you're sitting there being Asmongold, sitting in your own poop, saying that.
Yeah.
And then
letting
you don't
it cross.
have healthcare. Like, I don't understand. It's like, it's literally worsening your material conditions for them to have so much presence in the Middle East.
Okay, but compare Trump's aura to anyone else, dude. He has so much aura, and bombing is aura. So, I don't know if you've thought about that.
Carlo is so Brad. How did that not work? Pokemon go to the polls.
Oh my god.
The most lethal military anywhere in the world. I don't know why I'm quoting her in a Trump voice.
Because might as well be.
I mean, to be fair, that's the marketing they went for, is that we're the more competent Trump.
Hey,
we'll kill people, brown people, more efficiently.
To try and get I feel like Democrats are actually convinced that the reason that they're losing to Republicans, they have to get the fringe Republican voters instead of the people that just don't want to vote for anybody because they don't feel like anybody represents them. They cater to who they think they can steal from the Republicans, which is no one, because why would you have diet racism when you could just have racism?
Yeah. I have the personal thought that if you look at most Democrat campaigns through the lens of they're not appealing to voters, they're making a pitch to Israel that they'll do a better job than the Republicans at keeping the U.S. stable while doing everything possible to serve the United States of Israel. That's what they're actually doing. They're not making a pitch to the American voter because they know they have them in the headlock of we're the slightly less awful Nazis. So they're never making pitches to them. They're making pitches to Israel.
Are obviously both catering to Israel, but I don't know why they wouldn't just pick the Republicans every time.
Yeah, well, I mean,
because they just get more money.
Yeah, I mean, and the other conclusion is that they are, as Chuck Schumer has literally said on the record, their job is to keep the left pro-Israel. That's what he considers his job.
All right.
Keep watching.
Yep.
Gulf states, particularly with the attacks on energy facilities, is that part of the Iranian strategy to wage economic war as well?
No, Iran has not taken any responsibility for the strikes on the energy facilities, for example, in Saudi Arabia. That could be something carried out by the Israeli regime. But the Iranians have told tankers that they are not allowed to leave the Strait of Hormuz. And when these Arab regimes in the Persian Gulf, when they give the United States military bases to use against Iran, then there are consequences. They cannot have their cake and eat it too. They cannot participate in aggression against Iran alongside this Epstein coalition, and then
pause it there. He is going to be hammering this point. This is one of the reasons I love him. The Epstein coalition goes so hard,
and that's kind of what I was saying earlier. Like, you're fighting for these, like, literally, like,
yeah.
It's just crazy because if someone wrote a movie or a book where they're like, and the country's ran by pedophiles, we would be like, okay, dude, come on,
exactly, yeah, exactly.
Come on, dude, chill out, bro. And then you see it, and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, and what he's talking about here, there's been so much, like, I would hesitate to say anything is confirmed for certain, but, like, there have been reports of supposedly Mossad agents getting arrested who were trying to carry out false flag attacks. I believe there was a British base that was attacked that they literally said, yeah, the missiles seemed to come from Israel, and everyone just kind of stands around gawking because they can't say anything that would get them give them the impression that they hated Israel, but like that just seems to be what happened. Nothing with a pat in the back and an oopsie in the past. Like Israel just gets to do whatever it's want to. It's supposed to Western allies, and they don't do anything about it.
Well, yeah, because we need them. They're our little guy.
But of course, and we're gonna see a lot of this from this interviewer. Though honestly, this interviewer is the least had the least hard on for hating Iran, as all some of the other interviewers we'll see. But this guy is there's so many assumptions about. Oh yeah, Iran did this, right? And it's just like, no. That didn't happen.
I really just want you guys to know that, like, I'm really happy to pay for Israeli healthcare.
I'm really glad that you feel that way.
Yeah, I thank you. I just wanted to be recognized.
Yeah, I've heard it said that the left in America really need to stop calling it universal healthcare and start calling it Israeli healthcare. We need the Israeli healthcare model for the United States. And then what are the Republicans going to do? Be like, no, we hate Israeli healthcare. And then they all get exploded by Mossad instantly, and then the Democrats become the government by default. It's genius.
Sit back and say we're neutral.
Right, but you're not denying the other attacks, are you, in other Gulf countries which do affect energy supplies, and the oil price has gone up significantly.
Yeah, like this is another infuriating thing where they frame it like, oh, you're attacking all these neutral Gulf nations. They have U.S. military bases in them that are currently launching strikes against Iran. Like, what? They're not neutral. They're not innocent bystanders. Like there's an argument, of course, that like they don't really have a choice because it's the American military. When they tell you they're going to put a base there, it's real hard to say no. But like it's absurd to act like, or there's this narrative that Iran is just lashing out at whoever, just firing missiles randomly, killing people, acting like Israel, because that would be unthinkable. Only Israel gets to act like Israel. But like they're attacking American military bases that are in other Gulf countries because American military bases are there. Like, what?
So, I mean, that does seem to be part of...
Also, wait, pause it one sec. Why are the Iranians, not caring that oil prices might go up for other nations while
what
they're...
the hell?
Dude, it's so selfish.
Targeting their civilians and killing... killing schoolgirls. Like, why haven't
so
they
mad.
got the oil prices for you and me? How dare they?
Dude, gas has been going up, and honestly...
Oh, gas spiked here.
Yeah, gas spiked. Look at dollar.
Yeah, I love how
okay.
Canada produces oil itself, but somehow our oil prices are spiking.
Yeah, and also it happens.
That's because you sell your oil and you buy it from somewhere else, probably. Yeah. Which is, I mean, that's an.
Oh yeah, we do. We don't really refine any of our oil here.
Yeah,
and it's like oil sands. It's crude. That's a whole other thing.
Yeah, poop ass oil.
We sell it to the States, which is hyper cheap.
Yeah, your oil sucks dick.
Military strategy, isn't it? I mean, to try and bring them into the war and regionalize it.
You're just going to keep pausing. I'm sorry. But like, again, just like suppositioning style that is literally what Israel is doing onto them.
Dude.
Like, what? That's literally why Israel is doing it. That's why Israel would have a motivation to launch false flag attacks. Like, what does
Israel
Iran
does that
stake to
because
gain?
it's fun. They're just like, ooh. You're just little guys. You guys aren't understanding the little guy of the situation. They're innocent.
Targeting U.S. assets in the Persian Gulf, and those assets could be anything that's linked to the United States. The United States is bombing hospitals. The United States is bombing schools.
Yep.
The
Bombed like
United
7
States
hospitals.
is bombing Iranian national.
Today. Just today.
Yeah, today. And
Alongside.
this is literally the Israel doctrine. Like, it's not like a secret. It's not even hush-hush that they're like that's literally, they have a name for it. I wish I could remember it right now, but it's the doctrine they've adopted in this war, and they probably did have from the very start, whatever they told the United States, which is just to literally just bomb civilian targets forever until it. And I
Is
love
that the
this
mowing
too,
the
but it's so
lawn or
nonsense.
whatever?
The stated reason is to bomb them until the civilians turn against their government. And it's just like, that's not how that works. Because the reality is, what it actually is just genocide. It's just genocide. It's just endless genocide. It's just what they do in Gaza.
Well, no, but someone wrote it down, and that's now how it works.
It's actually not a war crime if I say that's my doctrine.
This is so not, like, relevant at all, but it reminded me of something that I was looking at, because there was people in college, and they were taking a class called musicology, but the music only focuses on, like, Western classical music. And that's
real music. Sorry. You said
exactly. So it's like this weird white supremacist exceptionalism, because like the other study is like ethnomusicology, and it's like there really is like this centering of whiteness in everything that we do. That reminded me of that. But
it's not a war crime if you genocide brown people.
Yeah, but because a white person wrote this doctrine, that now it's a tactic. I'm playing Fire Emblem. All right, I'm doing a tactic right now.
Yeah.
Fuck yourself.
Alongside the Israeli regime. So U.S. assets in the Persian Gulf, they too will be attacked. But assets that belong to the states in the Persian Gulf region, they have not been touched by the Iranians. However, if they host U.S. forces, because many of the soldiers have left their bases and been taken to hotels, the Iranians will target them. So at the end of the day, if they want this problem to end, they have to expel soldiers of the Epstein regime.
Now, we understand that the Assembly of Experts is
And
trying to appoint a new
it's ridiculous, because like, I mean, he already said like the U.S. has bombed schools and hospitals, but like Iran is actually like bombing targets of interest, and then we'll still cry outrage. It's like, okay, we're in war. You're asking them to, wanting them to play fair while you're being like the dirtiest motherfuckers ever. But we'll always pin it on that. Like, it's so frustrating. And I think it's genuinely the way we view people, because I think we all come up from a stance of like, we view other people as people. So when we're seeing this happening, it's like, this war is bad no matter what, like people are dying, right? But like, I think there are people that are like, it's the US versus the world, which is not even the case in this fucking instance. But I think that's how you can justify it in your mind. Because in my mind, it's like, this is just senseless killing of people, right? And their lives are on the equivalent level as of mine, in my opinion.
Yeah.
But a lot of people don't feel that way. So when this happens, they're like, well, future terrorists. It's fucking terrible.
I think part of it too is being desensitized to it, because like, name a time that U.S. has not been killing brown people, right? Like, this has always been happening, and you've been told in society that it's normal, it's fine, it's just the way things are, and these people deserve it, and they are actually threatening your way of life. And if you like grow up in that indoctrination and then you never challenge it, you just end up being like, it's out of sight, out of mind. First of all, it's not happening like in the U.S., and then you can just be like, oh yeah, they're bad people, and you just don't think anything of it. But you're right, like you and I see this, and we're like, there are literally just like hospitals, there's doctors being killed, there's children being killed, there's like civilians.
And that's what I was saying. Like the outrage, like, and that's outrageous. But it's outrageous because we view them as the same kind of like. It's crazy. It's hard to fathom that you're just like, no, it's fine because they're Iranian. They're not American. Like,
yeah, it's the sobering thought that a lot of your coworkers literally don't see the average Iranian as a human. They're an alien to them. They have this image in their mind of someone that's so utterly devoid of this of human characteristics, when in reality, they are in fact just boring people. They're just people. They have mothers and fathers. They have sports that they like. They have a favorite food. But
yeah.
there's a definitely a very, and obviously Islamophobia has been absolutely rampant in the West since 9/11. But and has remained super normalized to this day. Even when we were in kind of the wokeist triumphant Obama era, where like anti-black racism was really looked down on, and even the way it's perceived even now as things have gotten really bad, like Islamophobia has always been hyper normalized, and that translates directly to people just not perceiving Iranians as people the way we do.
Yeah, it's a classic. I always think about it too whenever I see news headlines that are like, you know, like some awful thing happens in the world, and like the Canadian news cycle will be like 2 Canadians killed, like out of 100 or whatever it is, or like you'll literally have like the coverage, the American coverage of this. I'm just gonna call it a conflict. That sounds just, that word is just like so like,
destroyed at this point.
Like awful at this point, but like. In this war, not war, like you'll have it highlighted like American like military people who are dying, as if that is something like people who have literally signed up to be in combat, being like, oh yeah, 3 of them died versus the hundreds or thousands of Iranians that have died. Like it's so crazy that it is so like you should only care about this because somebody that looks like you is affected by it. Did I spit too hard? You guys can't.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was shitting on your words. I realized we're on a podcast. I was like, I have to talk.
Damn.
I felt like it was Diego's turn, so
it was my turn, but I was absorbing.
You're absorbing. Yeah, and it's you even see it in the language, the way they report on things. Like it's probably an image we can throw on screen in editing, but I know I saw a comparison that was thrown around on social media a lot about like the strike on the schoolgirls that we've heard mentioned multiple times now is it's reported as like strike happens on school killing a bunch of little girls, and there's no accountability, there's no who did it. And then, like, when Iran hits a missile base, it, like, tells you exactly how many people died, and it tells you Iran did the strike. It's such an unbelievably obvious bias. Because killing white people is bad, and killing brown people is awesome.
U.S. God, how dare a U.S. national die?
Could a new leader, do you think, negotiate with Trump and agree to his terms?
No. Iran is not interested in negotiating.
Yeah.
Also...
Trump.
Sorry to make this once again after we talked about that. The assumption that like the last Ayatollah just like didn't do a good enough job negotiating, he didn't do a good enough job capitulating, as if they didn't strike an agreement where they would not make nukes, and then the U.S. just turns around and goes, oh yeah, it's because they were gonna do nukes. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? There's literally no way there was no way for them to stop this. Like, this is 100% an aggressive thing. It is not defensive. It is not because Iran was trying to make nukes. And it would also be totally understandable if they wanted to have nuclear arms, because that is the only way that they could feasibly defend themselves. It is so ridiculous.
I hate fucking...
Yeah, like, the U.S. literally invaded them in the middle of negotiations. Like, it's so absurd to put the onus on them. Oh, yeah, you guys got to elect a new supreme leader, as if they have no other government and can't function unless they have their dictator. Which, like, is just such an absurdly Western... Like, you know they have a president? They have a president that is elected. And like yeah, we can hum and ha about how their elections are bullshit, and then, you know, I could turn around and talk about fucking American elections. Now they're bullshit. Like, oh yeah, there's a selection process. Oh yes, because just anyone can run for president of the United States. You definitely don't have to be the anointed of either the two parties in the country. But like, they just have a president. Like, they love talking about the Ayatollah because it alienates them. It's what we were talking about earlier. It aliens them. Oh, they're the evil Islamic threat, the Islamic Republic. They don't love democracy. Like, they literally just have a president that is elected.
Nah, Ayatollah. It sounds scary. Yeah, and I'm dumb.
But yeah, he's about to aura farm like crazy.
But no, I agree. Like, I think that, like, we are so good at, like, bastardizing everything else just to make it seem like, look at how fucking disgusting. Like, everything's a mirror. I fucking hate this country. Anyway.
Is going to punish the United States. And we are in the process of doing it. This regime in Washington has tried.
No, he calls it regime, just like they like to call.
That's a bridge too far.
His government.
And they're messing with the wrong country. We're not Venezuela. We're not Iraq. We're not Libya. We're not Afghanistan. And we're not Syria.
So many examples.
This is the Islamic Republic of Iran. And we will make sure that the United States regrets the aggression against the Iranian people and the slaughter of children and the slaughter of innocent civilians and the murder of the leader. These are crimes against humanity, and the United States and its allies have imposed the law of the jungle upon the world, and they will come to regret it.
But Iran...
Damn.
Pause it again. And like the aura fart, the aura he has there is insane, and he's so right. Like, what he said there is basically a variation. It's not that dissimilar to what Mark Carney was saying, where he talked about like how the U.S. has destroyed the international world order and destroyed the international rule of law. And we've seen that in so many ways in this invasion. Like, this is like, from my understanding, this is the first time that a country, or not the first time ever, but like in recent history, it is not common that a country just kills the leader outright. Like, you know, they CIA people all the time. They CIA their own presidents. But to just explicitly kill the leader of a country, you don't do that, because then there's no one to negotiate with to end the war. If your goal is to end war, to not have war, which should be the goal of even an offensive war that's being waged for even remotely logical reasons and non-genocidal reasons, you don't just kill the leader, because you need someone to negotiate with.
Have you ever thought that Trump's actually the no more wars president? So everything you just said is actually stupid and wrong?
Yeah, come on. We'd be in World War III right now if Kamala had been elected.
Kamala.
Kamala.
My favorite president.
I hate everything.
Iran is not a military superpower either, and we're seeing the vast majority of drones and missiles being shot down by air defenses. I mean, you know...
Okay, I'm sorry.
What?
Yeah, it's the propaganda.
It is Israel. It is so classic. We are baby. We are like being attacked. Boo-hoo. Iran is a threat. Iran is a threat. We need to eliminate them. We need to protect ourselves. We need big, strong USA to protect us. We're just little babies. But also we're blocking all your defenses, and we have this Iron Dome, and it's so fucking sick, and nobody could ever touch us. Even if they wanted to, we are the strongest motherfuckers in the entire world. You could not even scratch me if you tried.
But also, I poo-pooed my diaper.
I poo-pooed my diaper.
Mixed fascism 101.
I need the U.S. for all the taxpayers to pay for our toilet paper.
Toilet paper, because I
poo-pooed my fucking butthole.
I pooed.
I'm so strong, mommy. I'm so strong.
Iran cannot win a military war.
I'm really fucking British. I'm kind of sick of this guy talking, bro. I'm real. He's annoying me.
He is the least infuriating interviewer that I watched.
Bro's hairline is fucking back in Utah, brother. I don't know what that even means. Sounds bad. Well, my shit's Utah.
His hairline's hiding like BB's hiding in Germany right now.
Okay, bad.
Are very old drones. Our missiles that are being fired are very old missiles. They're very inexpensive. And Americans are using up very expensive air defense systems.
This is all true, by the way. This is not any kind of propaganda for his state. Like, this is just true.
Using our latest technology, and most of Iran's underground bases have not even been used yet. They have not even been opened up for operation. Iranians have been planning for this day ever since.
And that makes a lot of sense. Iran hasn't been planning for this day. Yeah, no, I mean, not saying no shit to him, but of course, like,
yeah, they've been sitting there on the execution line, watching it happen to every one of their neighbors, and they have prepared their government.
Of Iraq, they knew that at some point the Epstein regime will go after Iran.
I love him.
And therefore, they've been preparing themselves for many years. We are fighting for our homeland and our sovereignty and our independence, and our crime is that we oppose the genocide that the British regime and the American regime and Western regimes have been supporting. And we are on the right side of history, and the United States is the aggressor, and we will punish the aggressor and make it.
And that's the thing, like, even though we talk about, like, Israel is the country that's genociding Palestine, like, people, obviously, who are in the know talk about the U.S.'s hand in it, but I think it's not talked about enough, because, like, we're funding them. Like, those missiles that are being lobbed at these people are paid for by us. The training that these IDF soldiers go through is paid for by us. Like,
they literally use the Gaza Strip for military weapons testing.
Right, we're quite literally, like, complicit in the genocide, like, in no small way.
It's crimes against humanity.
What percentage of Iran's
I like that code game.
missile stocks remain?
You should cut that.
The vast majority.
Because after last year's war, it was estimated that Iran had used up around 40% of its missiles. Are you saying that was replenished in the last few months?
Those numbers were always fake. Those numbers are provided by the Israeli regime to the media in order to convince foolish Americans that war against Iran is simple. This war was supposed to end in a day or two. The 12-day war was supposed to bring Iran down like a house of cards. That failed, this failed, and now the United States will have to pay the price. And if the United States escalates, that will mean that the most sensitive region in the world, the Persian Gulf, where a quarter of the world's energy comes from, everything could be destroyed. And if that happens, it doesn't even matter if the Strait of Hormuz is open or closed, because there will be no oil or gas, and there will be no tankers. For Iran, This is a fight for survival. For the United States, this is a war of choice. A choice that has been imposed upon America.
Based.
Hold on, bro.
Oh, based.
GIF of that guy writing, and it's like the fire out of the pen.
Yes.
Dude,
Yes. Put it on the screen.
As this guy's talking, his chin is getting, like, sharper, and he's frame mogging. He's actually This reporter's getting frame mogged.
Yeah. And he again touches on it perfectly. That is a huge aspect of this. It's just they want to control oil. They want to control all of it. It's the same reason they went to Venezuela. It's so explicit.
Venezuela.
American people by the Epstein class. We will expel the United States.
The Epstein class.
From our
Yes, I
homeland,
love him.
and we'll make sure that the United States never again thinks about aggression against our country. And we will not allow the Israeli regime to behave with impunity and to continue genocide against the Palestinian people.
Isn't it true, though, that a lot of Iranian people want to see this government toppled? We saw tens of thousands taking to the streets just weeks ago, and many thousands of people were killed by the security forces. So public opinion is divided on this.
Don't believe your propaganda. That's silly.
Well,
I've already had an interview. I've already spoken with your colleague. Though the people who were killed, 3,117 people were killed, hundreds were police officers and people who were patrolling the streets as volunteers, and hundreds of others were ordinary people that were murdered by these militants and these terrorists who were using weapons to kill. In your country, if they kill a single police officer, there'll be outrage. Here, they killed hundreds, including the volunteers. So this was no peaceful protest. And you know quite well, because I know you follow these things. In Iran, on February the 12th, we had millions of people on the streets of Tehran and tens of millions across the country rallying against the rioters. And on February the 11th, on the 47th anniversary of the revolution, we had millions of people again on the streets of Tehran and tens of millions across the country. And as we're speaking, across the country, as we're speaking now, you have millions of people in the streets of Tehran under bombardment, and in other cities under bombardment, commemorating the martyr Ayatollah Khamenei. So you can pretend all you want that Iran.
I do not know well enough to say whether this man is wrong about this. I feel like this is the most, like, my propaganda hairs have risen in this, in that the idea that the Iranian people are super happy with this regime.
I don't think that's necessarily what he's saying, because I think what I interpreted that is they're against the rioters and what they're doing and the violence that they're causing, not necessarily the change that they're trying to do.
But I think that what he's trying to say is that, like, oh, actually, a lot of the people that died were law enforcement because of the rioters, and that people are really disagree with people that were rioting in the street previously, and I don't know if that's 100% true.
I don't either.
I can't say that. I do think that this regime doesn't serve Iranian people. That being said, not to say I condemn Hamas, but like it's not getting any better by the U.S. bombing them, and I think that's the like through line of the thing. Is like it doesn't matter if they're corrupt. What the U.S. is doing is an act of aggression, and it's wrong, it is war crimes, it is horrible, and it is not helping the people of Iran. And I think that's like the through line we have to say. I don't know if the way that you go about this is you go, actually the Ayatollah is awesome, and also this entire regime is really awesome. Because it's like, it's not, I think it's a false dichotomy to say that the only options you have are this Iranian regime or the Epstein regime. Like, those are the two solutions for the average Iranian person. That what you need to do is either be bombed by the US, or be like not taken care of by your own government.
No, totally. I agree, because I don't think anyone's trying to say, well, maybe he is, I don't know, that the current administration or regime in Iran is like the best or even good. Like, it's not, clearly, and there's a lot of problems. But yeah, no, it's very clear, like, it's, like you said, it's just another act of aggression. It's illegal. And I think he was right where he said it's like a war of choice. Because the U.S. doesn't have to fucking do that. Like, there's really no reason besides oil.
It's not helping the Iranian people for the U.S. to do this.
No.
They are not toppling the regime by killing one
We're trying to crash your economy.
6-year-old man.
Yeah.
They have not done anything, and their history of intervening in other countries in a sense, like to try and overthrow the government, has not resulted in peaceful democracy.
Yeah, he named all of them.
Yeah, exactly. So like it is just kind of an irrelevant point to me to say like what their current government is doing, because it's just not worse than what the Americans are doing or trying to do, and how they're also just going to further destabilize and kill more Iranians. That's not the solution, even if this is a corrupt regime.
Yeah, something that his speech here really made me think about is how Western media loves to manufacture consent for infinite killing of brown people by being like, yeah, they hate their government too. That's why we're bombing them. But we're bombing the government because they hate their government too.
We're bombing their elementary schools because they hate their children as well.
Yeah, and it's like literally if you applied everything that the interviewer here said to the United States, if there was bombing in the United States, if the president was assassinated and some other country was saying this about, you could say all the same things. Because, like, again, we don't really know the details. I won't pretend to know the details of the internal reality of Iran right now. I will say they're allowing CNN interviewers and journalists in, which is something Israel doesn't do in the Gaza Strip. So, I'll say that. But again, if you apply everything he said to the United States, the exact same things could be said. Someone could bomb the United States, kill the leader, and say, oh, well, I mean, the people there hate their leadership. People there hate their leader. And it would also be true. Yeah. The United States also had people in the streets and has had people in the streets for the past years. All the No Kings protests, the Minneapolis protests.
Yes.
But all the same things are true. Like, it really deconstructed that propaganda that has sat in my brain because I grew up listening to justification of endless war in the Middle East for so many years. And you realize that all the same things apply because they're just also people. These are just also countries with imperfect governments that not everyone in the country agrees on. That doesn't mean it's okay to infinitely bomb their children in hospitals.
Iranians want their country to be bombed. But at the end of the day, your policymakers, by believing their own propaganda, are going to hit their head once again against a brick wall. But this time, the price will be very high, and I think it will bring about a change in global politics.
I'm not denying that huge numbers of people have come out in support of the government, but from your own account of the way people have been killed and were fighting in the streets effectively, the country is clearly divided to some degree.
Look how desperate he is to push the
narrative. Who do not support
Look how desperate
the
he
government.
is.
But I wonder, often in
some
wartime,
people don't disagree
public
with your
opinion
government.
changes, and the acts of an outside aggressor can change public opinion.
I do think that guy is still reporting the lowest numbers that the Iranian government was
reporting,
that 3,000 people died, and saying hundreds of military personnel died with that. It is truly what happened in January is truly was a massacre.
Yeah,
and it should not be taken lightly. And if the U.S. did that, that is not something that the U.S.'s regime is doing. I will call it a regime, and I'm not trying to say the U.S. is actually better than Iran and all this, and therefore it's okay that they bomb them. But I think you can it's something that I just wish this guy was doing, and it's maybe I'm trying to make him the perfect victim here, where you can say the massacre by the Iranian government was a truly awful thing that happened in January. That does not mean that we want to be bombed by the U.S. That does not mean that bombing the Ayatollah fixes this problem, because that it just doesn't is the problem here. And that is also not why the U.S. is doing this. They are not trying to do this for the interest of the Iranian people, but people there's estimates up to 30,000 people died in those.
Jeez, really?
And I don't know. It's because I have the wiki open right now, and it says 3,117, which is the number this man reported, which is per the Iranian government, and then the upper ends of this are saying 30,000 people, which
per Breitbart.
It's probably less than that, but it's probably more than the 3,000 that they're saying, and it's also still really bad if the government just killed 3,000 people in the street for protesting. It's just this could be truly horrific, and we just don't have to say, we don't have to sugarcoat it to say that what the U.S. is doing is wrong.
Yeah, things can be bad, and we don't have to push U.S. imperialism.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because this does not allow for revolution. This does not allow for a fixing of the government, and we've seen it in so many different countries, in Iraq, in Libya. This did not fix their democracy by bombing.
Change public opinion, and I just wonder whether you think that might happen in Iran.
No, the strong majority of Iranians, even according to polls taken by the University of Maryland, for example, in the past, I don't know if they still carry out polls, but it shows that the strong majority of Iranians support the Constitution. And now that the United States is murdering Iranians, many of those youngsters who are on the streets, who believe the fake Western narratives about human rights and dignity and freedom, are watching children being slaughtered, and Western media is ignoring it. And Western governments are not even apologizing for it. And the British and the German regime, the German chancellor says there must be regime change in Iran. The German chancellor must first apologize to the people of Iran for giving Saddam Hussein chemical weapons to use against us that killed so many thousands of people. The German regime has no credibility and is in no position to talk about Iran. And the divisions that exist right now in your country and the United States are far greater than the divisions that exist in Iran. The people of Iran are united, and we will see that the United States will fail, and the United States will pay a heavy price. And ultimately, people will see that the emperor has no clothes. The United States bullies country after country. It strangles Cuba. It takes the people of Venezuela hostage. It imposes Al-Qaeda rule on the people of Syria. Iran is a bridge too far. Iran will show the Americans that they're messing with the wrong country.
What about the competence, though, of your security apparatus? I mean, after the killing of the Ayatollah with so many senior figures, we have now seen that, again, the clerics have met in the Assembly of Experts building in Qom, and that has also been bombed. I mean, does it not strike you as very odd that senior Iranian figures are still meeting in known places where they can be targeted?
No, no one was in that building. Why?
Why would you meet somewhere you can be targeted? Are you stupid? Did the British get to your brain? Why would you meet where you could be bombed? Are you literally? What are you talking about?
God, did you see him push up his glasses though? He hit the anime pose. He was about to dunk on him.
When a reporter's serving you just like home runs like that, yeah, of course I'd push up my glasses. Why would you even ask that question? This guy legitimately has a vacuum where his brain should be.
Well, see, and what's really telling, again, I've been listening to people interview, which again, it's so interesting that Iran is doing all these interviews with Western media outlets and just like letting them talk. Again, it's very against the alien narrative that the Iranian government is just this alien thing, so utterly divorced from what we are and so hating freedom and democracy. And they're just talking to more Western media outlets than Israel does. And what we will see, this narrative is pushed so much. Every single reporter was clearly told to push, like, oh yeah, your Ayatollah's dead. How are you guys gonna function? Like, how's it even possible? Like, he's literally asked the same question twice now. He's literally, he just keeps pushing it.
So why did the Ayatollah go to the Chuck E. Cheese on Cross Street? Yeah. You knew he wanted to kill the children there. Shut up.
I was dying. I was watching the Majority Report, and they were like, believe it or not, they had contingencies for an 86-year-old man dying. Unlike you see in the U.S. Senate.
Literally, Jesus Christ.
It's also just crazy that, like, they thought he was doing anything. Like, no, that's an 86-year-old man. He can't drive. He shouldn't be making decisions in the country. And not something the United States would understand. Who literally have their elected representatives being lost for months and found in dementia care homes. Real story. Throw that on the board.
This nonsense. And senior military figures, except for in the office of the leader, a number of people who were killed, no one else was killed. And Ayatollah Khamenei said that I'm going to remain in my house because many people who are struggling cannot leave their homes. And I will stay here till the end because of these people. And he stayed and he was martyred. That's not something that your leader would ever do. But
mic drop.
In any case,
drop.
Damn.
Yeah. And who knows if
it's a little bit propaganda.
True? Yeah.
It's a little bit propaganda, but true.
No,
like, he's an 86-year-old man with
propaganda.
cancer, but like, he did it. No. You think Trump would do that if he was an 86-year-old man with cancer? Which
he might be. Yeah.
God forbid, I wouldn't want that to happen to him. I'd never wish harm on anyone.
Right.
Sorry,
should we continue?
We are seeing the Iranian armed forces effectively pushing back against this sinister superpower of our time and against this genocidal Zionist regime that continues to slaughter people in Gaza, in Palestine, and in Lebanon. Simultaneously, they're waging a war, and Iran is pushing them back. At the same time, we see that the government, despite the maximum pressure sanctions, we see that people have food, that there are no queues. So that is pretty significant, I must say. And your government, which has no sanctions and has no war, the regime in London is not proving to be very efficient nor very popular.
Just finally, I mean, the United States president and the Israeli prime minister killed the Iranian supreme leader. Will it now be the aim of the Iranian military and all its networks around the world to take their revenge on those individuals?
What the United States did was a crime against humanity. What it is doing is a crime against humanity. We have no expectations from the West, nor the Western media. Western elites for us are a bunch of worthless barbarians. Iranians will protect themselves. I do not know what Iran will do or its allies will do across the world, but the entire world is sick and tired of the way in which the United States and its proxies in Europe behave. It's a rogue regime.
I'll just end it there, honestly.
Amen.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, definitely there was some prop in there. But no, I mean, he was spitting for sure, and I think I really do like him calling them regimes because, like we were talking about earlier, right? Like the language is so not just obfuscated, but also just like warped to make it seem so heavily like in Israel in the United States' favor. So doing that to them, and it is funny because it is like it's like shocking to hear that.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's effective. You know, that was good. That was great.
No, it's just good. I could have done without some of the Iranian government propaganda, but in general,
and
he spit about the U.S.
I can't wait for the Ayatollah to rise again on the third day.
Yeah, I don't know. For me, it's just like it's so. I think like objectively, you're right, and I agree in that. Like I don't know, I'm not standing beside a brutal regime. But like, I just don't care at this point. And like, it's also because of like the way Democrats message, the way they have to trip over themselves to be like, oh yeah, but actually they're a brutal dictator. I just like don't care. Like they truly are the brutal, sinister superpower of our time.
Cared about China.
Yeah, it's what do you do as a civilian member of Iran?
Yeah, like no, of course they're gonna
like
right.
That's it. That's what they want. Like.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
No, everything he said about the states is true. Like everything.
Like yeah, if your neighborhood is bombed every day, yeah, you're gonna join the army. You're gonna join the terrorists. So.
Yeah, it's also one of those things where it's just like the reason that their government. Again, the reason like you could say that it's corrupt, but like the reason that it is the way it is because of the U.S. The reason that Hamas exists is because of Israel. Like these things don't just exist. Like it's because people are so happy to like feel that brown people are just inherently like less civilized and will create governments that are just less good and less democratic, and they'll just have like Islamic dictators, and they just think that that's inherent to brown people. So they'll just believe that as if that's just like happened naturally and not with like CIA coups over and over again. That like that's just the only resistance you have to U.S. imperialism is these extremists.
Yeah, and that's why again, like I absolutely, if I have to pick a side, I'm picking his when he's talking about like the protesters and the horrible things that happened, which are still horrible because a bunch of people died and a bunch of people should not die. Insane leftist communist belief. We could like live on this planet instead of killing each other, but. Like, the CIA is in there. Like, as we already literally know, the CIA are once again trying to arm the Kurds. It's a real fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me situation. But, like, the CIA has been there the whole time and absolutely had a hand in whatever civil unrest happened there. Because they want control of the oil. Like, my take is that Israel wants maximum genocide, maximum kill everyone because they're psychotic. Absolutely psychotic government, and the U.S. just want a good old American fashion wanted to control all the oil, and Iran is the last like unknown player in the area that they don't just have absolute control over. So they wanted control over it the way they do in Venezuela.
And
that's what brought us to this current moment.
Israel is bloodthirsty because you think all Jewish people are bloodthirsty,
and they just want money.
No. Though these days, I'm closer to Tucker Carlson than I am the U.S. president. Which is an odd situation to be in.
I don't like them because they like money. I don't like them because their noses are oddly shaped.
No,
my God.
It is so sad too that like Israel's incessant need to just like tie Judaism into everything that they do. Even though, like, it has, like, the religion has literally nothing to do with the genocidal maniac that, I was going to say that runs the country. That implies that it's only Netanyahu, and if you got him out, then it would only totally be fine. But the entire regime and the project that is Israel, they want to tie to Judaism, which is, like, so ridiculous. And it just feeds into the anti-Semitism, because people know, hey, this is wrong, because they keep seeing the carnage, the babies dying. And then they hear Candace Owens and Tucker Carlson like fucking spouting shit that's anti-Israel but also anti-Semitic, and they're like, you know what? I'm here for it.
Do you know who runs the banks?
Yeah.
Jesus fucking Christ, is that you, J.K. Rowling?
No, I don't like when women have big penises. Yeah. They look so scrumptious. Yeah. That's J.K. Rowling. I don't know what's gonna happen. All I know is it's making me catatonic. Like hope we don't go to war, but it just seems more and more likely, and I think...
I don't think they can draft. I think they know they can.
I think
that would be, like you said, that would be the thing that is suddenly no treats. Because, like, if I have to die, I ain't dying for Israel. I'll die in a riot in the United States.
Yeah, I'd rather...
Like, absolutely, that would push people over the edge. They will not call a draft. I think they know that would be a genuine red line in the sand, because that's
individual
are asking people to go die. Yeah, which is bad and a shame.
And I'm not even saying like leftists won't do it. I don't think Republicans will do it either. Like, I think a lot of them want to fucking go to war.
The war is like 20% support, which is like well below Trump's usual like holding steady 27% base. It's like monstrously unpopular.
Yeah. We'll see.
And even among the people who claim to support it, I doubt they're going to war either. Like, what you said, an asthma goal to the front lines, bro's a bioweapon. That would be another Geneva Convention violation.
Throw out the gas grenade. Based. My aura dissolves bullets around me. Based.
Just unleashes a horde of rats.
Domain expansion. Little guys. Oh God. Well.
Have we been the basement leftists?
I think so. I gotta do some shit. You know. This has been the basement leftists. Love you. Ow!